Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good.
We celebrated our anniversary over the weekend. 17 glorious years.
17.
Does it feel like 17 years to you?
No.
How long does it feel like to you?
It's gone really fast.
There are parts of me that say that it's gone really fast, and there's other parts of me that feel like it's like I've known you forever. So, you know, so I don't know if that makes sense, but happy anniversary.
Thank you. Happy anniversary.
It was fun. Coming up later in the program, we've got a guest. We have Dana Vollmer, and we're going to be talking about America Heart Month. That's this whole month, so going to be chatting a little bit about that. Most boat owners name their boats. What do you think is the most popular name for a boat, Heidi? Obsession.
Really?
Yeah, Obsession.
Oh.
That's not what I would name my boat.
No.
What would you name your boat? Can you say it on the radio? Can you?
No.
Okay.
Probably not.
Health officials in China estimate that 60 million Chinese people are obese. 60 million. That's a lot.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen an obese Chinese person.
I don't know. I've never been to China, so.
But even just Chinese nationality, I don't know if I've ever seen.
Me neither. I have no clue. We need to get out more. 60 million of them. We just haven't been looking in the right places, apparently.
Huh.
Coming up, we got some special things happening on this Monday. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you never asked. It's Monday the 13th. Way less scary than Friday the 13th for some reason.
Yeah, a little bit.
Monday, the 13th day of February. Clean out your computer day. That's kind of scary. Desperation Day. Employee Legal Awareness Day. Wow, a lot of
Employee
heavy.
legal awareness.
I know. It's Galentine's Day today.
Okay.
So is that the day that gals get something with their dudes?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, it's also Get a Different Name Day. What name do you think you're going to switch to for the day?
I'm not.
Let's just trade names. You be John, I'll be Heidi. Otherwise, we have to change our jingle. We have to change our show name. What do you think about that, John?
It's about time I get top billing.
I know. International Condom Day today. Madly in Love with Me Day today. National Wingman's Day today. And World Radio Day. What do you think of that, John?
That's fascinating, Heidi.
Thank you. We can't keep that up all day, I know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Hey, it's John from the John and Heidi Show. Join me and my wife Heidi at 80s in the Sand, a week-long 80s event this November 11th through the 18th in beautiful Punta Cana. That's in the Dominican Republic. You'll get to meet and listen to 80s bands like Loverboy, Starship, Howard Jones, and many more. Plus, meet 80s icons from the movies like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and several others. Get all of the details at 80sinthesand.com. Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person. That's 80sinthesand.com, promo code RADIO.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Schools in Britain are starting to ban various playtime activities, Heidi.
Like?
Football. It causes injuries. So it's already gone from some schools, gonski, no way. So is
Football as far as our football or their
I don't know.
football?
Whatever football. It doesn't explain. But the other ones are a little more lame than that as far as things to take off the list, like skipping rope. Because,
oh my gosh.
quote, some girls have fallen over, end quote. Really? How about walking? You know, there are people that have fallen over doing that too. A popular game in England called Conkers that calls for chestnuts have been banned because of the nuts. Could be the nuts could be used as offensive weapons. What? This trend was discovered by Keele University researcher Sarah Thompson, who noted that, quote, all the schools I visited saw playtime as a time that could not be left entirely to the children's wishes, end quote. Also, she noted that the teachers at the schools that she studied complained that once given a list of things they could not do during playtime, the kids just don't seem to want to play anymore.
Well, of course not.
Maybe what they should do is have,
here's the thing. Kids are going to get hurt. You gotta let them get hurt.
Wrap them in bubble wrap and send them out there.
Diving head first off the roof, I'd say they're probably fine. Just let them play.
Conkers, I don't know what that is. They use chestnuts, and apparently they were afraid they were going to use them as weapons. And then this other one that really drives me nuts is the whole skipping rope,
That's
or we call it
ridiculous.
jumping rope
Jump
here.
rope, yeah.
But, jumping rope or skipping rope. So because somebody fell over while doing that, nobody can do it now?
Wow.
I just don't understand that one. So this is happening in England right now. They're banning that. Football, again, I don't understand why you couldn't play football.
I understand
Just make it so it's not as rough.
why they would say you can't use a jump rope around the bar on the merry-go-round and act like you're riding a horse. That I understand.
Why is that?
Because I did that.
Did you do
and
that?
It fell off and cracked my head open. I had to have 15 stitches.
Well, why am I not heard about this before?
I was, that thing that you sit on?
Yeah.
I was sitting on that, but I had a jump rope around the part that comes up, and I was leaning way back. And the one side of the rope came out of my one hand, and I fell off.
You were a wily
Under
child,
the
weren't
cement.
you? Crazy. That's my wife. I married her. She didn't tell me about this ahead of time, though, just so you know.
That I understand. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. But you can jump rope.
All right. We've got your brain on drugs on the way.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. It pays to be observant of your surroundings, especially if you're doing something illegal. Orlando's Michael Garabay approached Ed Johnson's car at a mobile gas station and asked, "Hey, want to buy some cocaine?" As luck would have it, Ed says, "Well, yes, I'm very interested in some cocaine." Several pieces of flat white rock substances were produced. He asked for the cash. Michael overlooked one tiny detail, the fact that Ed Johnson is Deputy Ed Johnson. He was wearing a full uniform at the time in a marked patrol car. Michael had a chance to ride in that car, by the way, on his way to jail. You know how many times we've read stories about knuckleheads that do that?
I'm pretty sure we read this one 4 days ago.
No, we did not. We've never...
Our recurring stories used to come up maybe once a year, and now they're coming up every 4 days.
I think you just have a lot of deja vu, because I have never heard this story before in my life.
You know what? Let's do a survey. If our listeners have heard this story in the last week or two, go on to our page and just let John know, hey, dude, you're recycling your stories.
I have a unique memory problem where I don't remember any of this stuff. You seriously think we just read this?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
This same
very
story?
recently.
I don't remember any of that. Coming up in a bit. See, I don't really pay attention around here. Coming up in a bit, we've got your moment of duh. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. You get what you pay for. That even includes veterinarian medicine. New York police officers were able to bust 28-year-old student Stephen Vossel on charges of treating pets without a license. With the help of 2 undercover officers, they would be Fred, the kitten, and Bert, the Boston Terrier, the investigation began. Bert's owner, Raymond Reed, contacted authorities after his dog survived a botched operation. Reed said that in hindsight, he should have been suspicious of a veterinarian who only made house calls and treated pets in an undisclosed location. You think you should have been concerned? You think you should have been concerned? Of course you should be concerned. Yeah, I'd like to bring my pet to the vet. Yeah, I'll come pick him up, and I'm going to do the operation somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you where. Okay, what time can you be here?
Well, if it's half price.
I just don't understand. Yeah, it doesn't sound a little shady. That sounds extremely shady. All right, coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Northampton College in England has created a course to teach people how to make a living using eBay. So you need to go to college to learn how to use eBay?
That's insane.
Heidi knows how to use eBay.
Yeah, I do.
You were really good. Now, have you used that much lately or not?
I haven't
really?
sold on it. I buy on it.
Do you? For a while there, she was buying and selling when our daughter was in kindergarten, she's now a sophomore in high school, so it's been a while ago.
It's been a while.
But her entire kindergarten year, she never wore the same outfit to school twice.
That's a true story.
Heidi was buying, and I remember saying, hey, you got to quit doing this. That's so expensive. And you're like, no, I bought this dress for like $2.08, and look over here, I just sold it for $22.
Yep.
I'm like, how'd you do that? And then I found out.
Awesome.
And then I found out my wife is a brilliant marketing genius. And I was like, well, why in the world are you not using these superpowers for good? The Detroit Free Press reports 52,000 hourly workers at General Motors will receive up to $12,000 in bonuses after the company netted a $12 billion profit in North America last year. That's good. That's good news. Making some money. In Oklahoma, a man walked up to a group of Girl Scouts selling cookies at a mall, offered to trade them, said, hey, I want some cookies. I'll give you some vodka.
Oh, that's a good trade.
Yeah, that's a bad trade. He was arrested, so that was not a good trade. They're like, yeah, what is that? Mom, what is vodka? Kids, vodka is alcohol that you don't drink until you're older, and even then you probably shouldn't.
Vodka's worth way more than your box of cookies.
I'm just
saying.
Maybe he just had a little shot of vodka. I don't know. A man in Philadelphia ate 409 chicken wings to become the champion of the Philadelphia Wing Bowl over the last weekend. That is crazy. 409 chicken wings. The world's most expensive Lego brick just sold online for $15,000.
What? For one?
One brick made out of 14 karat gold.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. What would you do with something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Make a really cool window in your house.
And just one brick? I'd do more, but these were $15,000 each. I don't know.
I wonder if it was bigger than just the average Lego brick.
I don't know. New Jersey law will allow lottery tickets to be delivered by private courier now. Apparently that was illegal before. Did not know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
A criminal whose sentence was commuted by President Obama is back in prison after being caught with 2 pounds of cocaine.
Shocker.
He just got out. Now he's back again already. I'm like, what was that all about? If you have a second chance, I mean, take care. Don't do something knuckleheaded and go right back to... That's just dumb. Dentists might be hanging up their drills. A new peptide embedded in a soft gel or a thin flexible film placed next to a cavity encourages cells inside your tooth to regenerate in about a month.
Really?
Yeah, it's to be like a patch you stick on there and like, okay.
My gosh.
My tooth is going to grow back.
I would consider going back to the dentist if this really comes through.
We haven't been at the dentist. If you're a dentist, I'm not an anti-dentite. I watched Seinfeld. I remember the episode about that. I'm not that.
I'm just terrified.
It's the thing. It's not that I don't like them, because I love the dentist. I'm just afraid of them. Because it's the little... Oh.
And I don't even know why. I've never had a bad experience.
Oh, I did.
But I am absolutely terrified.
Pretty sure the dentist beat the crap out of me when he was taking my wisdom teeth. I left there. I was like, man, I feel like I got hit by a truck. What happened to me? Like while I was out, he was beating me up. He was like, no more dumb jokes on the radio. This one's for the bad dentist joke that you're going to tell someday. Anyway, according to a new study, the ACS Nano is what this thing is called. They say this technology is the first of its kind and would remove the need for dental drills. So,
love it.
I do too. That is good news for Monday. We could have saved that for our good news. I don't know about that.
You should do a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I'll help with that.
No, you wouldn't. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Monday.
John and Heidi.
Radio advertising works. When it's done right, it works even better. There are many things you can do to get a better response, and shouting sale really isn't the best thing, believe it or not. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? If you're trying to get people to remember your company, consider a jingle. We work with one of the very best jingle companies in the business, and we'd love to use music to help you grow your company. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I don't know if you guys know this, but February is a special month. We've got February American Heart Month, and we've got somebody special to chat about this today, U.S. swimmer Dana Vollmer. Dana, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for being on here. 7 Olympic medals, 4 gold, 6 world records. That's pretty darn cool. So congratulations on all the success you've had. That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pretty incredible journey.
And now, in addition to being a fantastic swimmer, American Heart Month is something that's kind of near and dear to you as well. Talk to us a little bit about why that is.
It is. At 14, I was in practice and had a racing heartbeat and was diagnosed with an extra electrical pathway and random patterns of long QT. And my mom had to come to the pool all the time with me with a defibrillator. And it was one of those where my Olympic dreams might have ended, but we were able to pursue and to qualify for 3 Olympics. And so with that childhood experience, joining forces with the American Heart Association has become something that I'm really passionate about.
I'm reading the info here. You're saying knowing your numbers can help reduce your risk. Now, what numbers do we need to know?
So there's 5 numbers that all of us need to know. Your cholesterol, your HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol, blood sugar, blood pressure, and your BMI. And the CVS is now a national sponsor of the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women movement. And so on February 14th, they're offering free heart screenings to all women. And so you can go in. There's no excuse. You can know those 5 numbers, and that empowers you to speak with your physicians, to make any changes, lifestyle changes, because it's crazy that 80% of heart disease is preventable, and so knowing those numbers can make a huge difference.
And those are good numbers to know no matter what, but this, with it being American Heart Month, it's a great time to say, you know what, I should probably check that. It's been a long time.
It is. They're actually saying that you should start getting regular checkups and know those numbers from like age 20. And so there's 1,100 minute clinics all across the country, and CVS is also raising $10 million for research and education. And so it's February is that time to be thinking about your heart, be thinking about awareness, and get into a CVS clinic.
With Valentine's Day in the month of February, that's, I think, one of the reasons that they make it American Heart Month, because we see hearts everywhere we go this time of year. And the one heart that matters the most is the one that's beating in your chest right now. So you want to make sure you take care of that thing.
You do, yeah. It's very, very important for all of us.
So now, how long have you been a swimmer? When you started at what age?
I don't even remember learning how to swim. So I've been a competitive swimmer since I was about 5.
Wow. And so this is something that you've made your entire life is swimming. It's something that's really near and dear to you. And what was it like when you started having some issues with your heart and finding out that you might not get to pursue your dream?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, I had done since I can remember. I was always in the pool, always training, and then to have that, you're just not in control at all. When I was sitting there, my heart rate was about 250 beats a minute, and we couldn't do anything to calm it down. And so to go in, to get testing, to hear, a lot of unknowns. They didn't know that if I could keep training or not. And for cardiologists to really work hard to allow me to continue to swim, find that silver lining of carrying a defibrillator around with me. It's something that I've done a lot of testing throughout the years. I'm actually pregnant with my second child right now, and so we went and did the genetic screening to know any other heart anomalies, and just being really aware of your heart and those numbers and heart health has always been a passionate subject for me.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today about this very important subject. And again, congratulations on all your success in the swimming world. That is awesome. But also, like I said, thank you for making, now that you've made it in that world and you have the opportunity to, speak and have people listen. I'm glad that you've chosen something like this to speak about. It really matters to a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope that women take charge of their heart health and can get in the month of February and know those numbers, and that we can prevent some heart disease in women.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time. Again, February is American Heart Month. Our guest today, U.S. swimmer Dana Vollmer. Again, 7 Olympic medals, 4 of those gold medals, 6 world records. Absolutely amazing. Been a swimmer for a long, long time. And again, this is near and dear to her heart because she had some issues as a child. And this is something that, I shouldn't just say as a child, because you get to live with that forever, don't you?
You do. Yeah, it's definitely something that you're aware of, and every woman should be aware of. But that's it. Going from a child to where I am now, it's something that I'm really passionate about and want to empower others about as well.
Well, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you.
And again, February is American Heart Month. And it's important to make sure you know those numbers, and CVS is trying to make that a little bit easier. They've partnered with the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women movement, and they're offering free heart screenings with healthcare professionals in their Minute Clinics on Valentine's Day. More information available on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you looking for senior care for your mom or dad but don't know where to start? No one knows your loved ones better than you do, and no one knows senior living better than A Place for Mom. They've helped thousands of families find the right place for their loved ones. The Senior Living Advisors at A Place for Mom partner with thousands of families every month, listening and offering local knowledge and advice to help find the best senior living communities across the country. Call 1-800-471-5173. That's 1-800-471-5173.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The 3 cities with the highest percentage of counterfeit bills are Los Angeles, New York, and Miami. That's where the most counterfeit bills are found. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A group of rattlesnakes is called a rumba. A rumba of rattlesnakes. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The space station is the most expensive single object ever built. Do you know how much it cost?
I have no idea.
The contribution made by the United States alone so far, $96 billion.
Woo!
And it's the International Space Station, so everybody else is chipping in some dough as well.
Yeah. I'm sure they've all chipped in just as much.
No, I think we put in a little more than everybody else. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sean Connery once worked as a coffin polisher. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, so he worked on polishing coffins. Sean Connery. I don't know when that was. Probably not recently. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You know who invented the metal detector?
No.
I do. Alexander Graham Bell in 1881. And, you know, his invention, he was trying to use it to save the president. The president was shot. President
I did know
McKinley.
this.
And
I
they
knew
couldn't
this.
get it to work. It would work, and then they would go in there and try to use it. And you know why it wasn't working?
Because he was laying on a metal spring mattress.
They didn't have metal spring mattresses back then. That was brand new as well. Every time they would go in there, they were like, I can't find it. I don't know. This is not working. But it had everything to do with that. Now you know the rest of the story. Oh, no. Now you know the fun fact. That's what our deal is.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
It is.
Holy cow. If you, it says here, if you have a lot of love in your heart, but not a lot of loot to back it up, don't worry. The most romantic Valentine's gifts don't even require money. All you need is imagination, Heidi. Yeah, let's see how that goes. This is from a New York consumer tip columnist named Laura Shannon. It says here, an appointment book with one date filled in, that of a romantic getaway for the two of you. It doesn't have to be a Caribbean cruise or a Caribbean cruise, however you want to say it. It could be a day of playing hooky together at an out-of-the-way park or a back table at a dimly lit bistro. They're perfect for creating that loving feeling. So if I gave you an appointment book with just a date in there that had a vacation that I couldn't afford to buy yet, would you be excited, or would you say, how are you going to pay for that, you idiot? That's going to be fun. Oh, great. I don't need to be disappointed today. I could be disappointed on June 18th. Thank you. Thanks for putting off my disappointment. For the married Valentines out there, a gift certificate for your honey's choice of pampering treatments performed by you, like a massage or a shampoo or a bubble bath. Wait a minute, a shampoo? Would you want me to shampoo your hair?
Probably not.
What are you doing there? I don't know. I've never done this before.
I've heard of couples that do that before. I've never really understood that whole thing.
A heart-shaped box from a novelty store with handwritten notes inside. Contents, 365 blown kisses just for you. Take one a day. Another great Valentine idea. Okay, let me rephrase this. It says great Another idea from this lady that made a list of a bunch of free stuff or cheap stuff. Pajamas for the two of you. He wears the pants. She wears the top.
Oh, that would be cute. I like that.
We should get pajamas for the two of us.
Yeah, those men pajamas. I like those great big comfy tops that come in.
What am I going to wear for a top then?
You would just wear your white T-shirt like you always do.
Can we get matching pajamas?
And then
we both have a top?
But I don't need the bottoms, and you need the bottoms.
I'll wear mine out. I'll use your other pair. Sweep your sweetie off their feet with tickets to ballroom dancing classes. Why did I even have to mention that? Because I know what you're going to say.
I would love to do that.
Indoor skywriting is a great way to say I love you for somebody special.
Skywriting.
Make a poster with a declaration of your devotion and tape it to the ceiling over the bed. So the first thing they see when they wake up is you sticking things on the ceiling, dancing on the bed.
Yeah, there's no way you could do that without waking me up.
What you
like,
doing?
what are you doing?
Sticking something on the ceiling? Not sure how you put it up your head. A dozen red balloons. And last one is a blank journal that has reasons I love you, and every reason you'd have everything a different reason on every page. So there you go. That was a little longer than our normal break, and I apologize because it really wasn't that great. A lot of tips that none of us are going to do. We've got the story of St. Valentine, and that is on the way.
John and Heidi.
Only 2 in 10 Americans say they're ready for the unthinkable. Are you ready for a natural disaster? What would happen if you were not able to go out to get food for your family during extreme weather? How long would you be okay without power and without access to get more food? Wise Company has the ultimate emergency preparedness pack with enough emergency food kits for a week, or upgrade to be prepared for a month or longer. Call toll-free 888-552-3759. It pays to be prepared. Learn more at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up in a bit, we're going to read the story of St. Valentine. I'm not going to do that right now because it's a lot longer than I thought it was, and we already went long on our last break. So how about this? I love you with all of my kidney. Yeah, usually it's with all of my heart, but an Ohio woman is not giving away her heart, but she is giving away her kidney. 25-year-old Jenny Menahent of Akron, Ohio, is giving one of her healthy kidneys to her 34-year-old husband. This is going to be happening on Valentine's Day. So tomorrow, one of Jay's kidneys has been destroyed by diabetes, and now he's going to get a new kidney from his wife. Would you give me a kidney, Heidi?
No, I've seen how you eat. You just ruin it.
I'll give you a kidney.
I can't use your kidney.
I'll give you any organ you want.
That's what you always say.
I knew that was going to move on. I'll give you my heart. That's what I'll give you. Coming up, we're going to talk about passwords, and then we're going to get around to that Valentine thing here in a bit.
John and Heidi.
These days, we need passwords for so many things. I'm not a fan of passwords, but you have to have them. Like every online thing, password, username, password. You're not supposed to use the same thing over and over and over. Do you know what the most used computer passwords are in the world? The most used?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's number 1. Number 2 is password, just the word password. Number 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're like, ooh, I'm going to really trick them. I'm going to do 8 digits. The next one is QWERTY. And it's just the top row, QWERTY.
You know what, though? Now they're requiring you have to have a
special
symbol and a number and a capital
uppercase.
letter and regular letters. And
You're messing
so
with me.
you can't just do that anymore.
And the last one on the list is ABC 1, 2, 3. So if you have those, hopefully nobody listening has those as passwords. Do you have any of those?
No.
No, don't do that. If you have those, you're just asking for trouble. That's what they're going to start with. And then if they know your birth date, that's the next thing, because they're going to use your birth date or all the different things.
I have an awesome password. I use the same password
I know
for
what
everything.
you use, too.
It's awesome.
And I'm not going to say it because that everybody could hack everything you own. But they're saying you're supposed to have about 9 characters to have the very most bulletproof passwords out there. So good luck to you on that. Coming up, we're going to talk about St. Valentine because tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
John and Heidi.
Do you shop online? Do you like to save money? Save money with Honey. Let me explain. Honey is a really smart tool that's free to use. I'm not really an online shopper. I get as many things locally as possible. But there are some things you can only buy online. So when I heard about Honey, I thought, what the heck? It's free. I'll give it a shot. The very first time I used it was for a domain name. It's usually $12.99. Honey searched the internet and found me a discount code. So I bought it from the same exact website for just 99 cents. So I saved $12. It's absolutely free. So what do you have to lose? Check it out at SaveMoneyWithHoney.com.
John and Heidi.
Now the story of Saint Valentine, since tomorrow is Valentine's Day. A lot of research has turned up a number of saints named Valentine, but the most likely namesake of the familiar holiday that we will celebrate tomorrow is credited with helping Christians during their persecution by Claudius II, the Roman emperor in the 3rd century. And there was a jailer that was very harsh, but the priest had only the barest necessities of life. One comfort while in prison was his friendship with this man's blind daughter. She befriended the kindly priest by bringing him food and delivering messages. After a year in jail, Valentinus was summoned to appear before Claudius II. The emperor was so impressed by the young priest's dignity that Claudius attempted to convert him to worshiping Roman gods to save him from execution. Valentinus, however, refused to renounce Christianity and attempt to convert to the... he tried to convert the emperor to Christianity. Anyway, Claudius became furious and ordered that St. Valentine be beaten with clubs and stoned and executed. In the last days of his life, Valentinus, through his faith, restored the sight of the jailer's daughter. So this blind girl, he helped her to see again. He also converted this young man and the daughter to Christianity, which resulted in their execution as well by Claudius. On the eve of his execution, the priest wrote a farewell message to the girl and signed it, "From your Valentine."
Aww.
His execution was carried out on February the 14th, 269 A.D., So there you go. If you ever wondered why we celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow, now you know. And it says here, outside the gate in Rome, according to legend, a pink almond tree, a symbol of biding love, blossomed near his grave for years. So that's where that pink stuff comes from. Why would there be a heart? Was there a heart somewhere in there? I don't remember reading that.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Claudius sounds like a jerk.
Well, happy Valentine's Day tomorrow to all of you to celebrate that jerk Claudius. Coming up, we've got some good news. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and this is something that I don't quite, every single day we have, not every day, but a lot of the time we'll have a link to stories, and I don't ever make people go check them out because, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to mess around. You got to go check this out. This is so cool. In Toronto, Constable Jared Singh of the Regional Police Service was called to the scene of a fight. But when he got there were 8 people surrounding another person. There was no fight. Guess what it was, Heidi?
What was it, John?
Breakdancing.
Oh!
He says, I can see how somebody could mistake this for a fight, but it was not a fight. There was nothing sinister. The group was a member of a bunch of members of the University of Ontario Institute of Technology dance troupe, and they were filming a music video. The dancers expected this guy to shut them down, but instead, guess what happened?
He was dancing with them.
He said, it was time to bust a move. The result, you got to see this video. The result was nothing short of spectacular. The Facebook video of this officer breaking it down with one of the dancers has been shared more than 800,000 times, and that was like a week ago. Turns out, before joining the police force, this constable was a member of his college's dance troupe. So there you go. That is really cool.
I know a police officer that I could see do this, and
too.
I can't say it because he would get
he would not be
mad
happy,
at me.
But I know that I've heard stories of this officer breakdancing back in the 80s and 90s. And
he would do this.
Do you think he would?
He would with a bunch of kids, you bet.
You think he'd show up and breakdance?
Yeah.
I do. Him next time I see your brother. I mean, this officer that we're not going to mention.
He is going to kill you.
He's not. He doesn't even know. Well, like anybody that... Maybe I shouldn't have said that. If you want to see this video of this other officer from Canada, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And I've had the video on there all day. Check it out. It's really funny. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.